cited freedom of speech in that. Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
Well, I'm very glad I put you on the spot.
Well,
I'm very glad that I've exercised my freedom of speech.
You get my point. It's like you're doing what you should do, which is digging a bit to see what the hell's going on.
So
and that is what you should do. But you're exercising your freedom of speech to certainly risk offending me. And that's fine. I think more power to you as far as I'm concerned.
So people will say to me, as was said in the introduction, that I have courage. And that's not right. That's not true. That's not the case. I have my fears in order. I am dead serious about that. And so that's a matter of having your fears in order. Now, people always lie because people lie for two reasons. They lie because they want to avoid taking a responsibility for something that is their responsibility and perhaps encountering the requisite punishment. Children often lie for that reason, or they lie to gain something that they don't truly deserve. A lie is a form of avoidance, and so you can understand that people lie because they're afraid. They fail to tell the truth because they're afraid. So fear plays into it on that front. But what do you lose if you what do you lose if you lie? What do you lose if you lie? What should you be afraid of losing if you lie? Well, the answer to that depends on how profound your conception. It depends on the profundity of your conception of freedom of speech. Free speech is not a right among other rights. It's the predicate of all rights. It's also the predicate of a functioning psyche, and it's the predicate of a society that can maintain its integrity and its adaptive flexibility simultaneously. And to say that is no different than saying that thought is the bedrock of adaptation. Now, if I can speak freely, I can express my thoughts, and so then you might think erroneously that the reason I have free speech is so that I have the freedom to express my thoughts. And that's also not why I have freedom of speech, even though that's a corollary. I have freedom of speech so that I can think. Now, the reason that works, that is a technical definition and a truth, is because it's twofold. One is, you think in words. You think by internalizing dialogue. Most people can't think. They think by talking. You think by putting forward your viewpoint and then having it opposed by someone else. And then you might say, well, why should you put up with the opposition? And the answer is, well, what if you're stupid and wrong? Well, and the right response to that is, well, I am stupid and wrong. Please correct me. You have no right to hurt someone's feelings. And the answer is, well, you should hurt their feelings if the alternative is to let them die. And that's what you do. That is exactly what you do. If you interfere with people's ability to think, not only do you let them die, you doom them to death because their stupid ideas don't die, and then they do. And the purpose of thinking is to let your stupid thoughts die instead of you. That thought is useful. You try things out by thinking. And you think, and you have to do that you have to do that with great difficulty. That you want clashes of avatars so that the best survive, right? You want that for your children. You want to put up some resistance against their foolishness so that they modify themselves at the least possible cost. You do the same thing with your wife or your husband. If you have any sense at all in your marriage, you communicate honestly, painful and terrible as that is, so that each of you can discover what's lacking about you, and that's plenty. And so it's not going to be a pleasant interaction You know, it's going to be something that burns off the dead wood, and you might be mostly dead wood, and so you're going to object to that.